Matt Hancock has had a rough couple of weeks. From the emergence of texts where Boris Johnson described him as fucking useless, to the Queen calling him a poor man, to, well, now this. So in this video we're going to explain Hancock's affair scandal and what it means for him and the government. Now, it's worth starting by setting the scene, because this isn't just a story of a major government minister having an affair. If it were, we'd be pretty uninterested, but it's far bigger than that. So let's remember the context of what the government, including Hancock, was saying around the time that the affair took place.
That next week we will be introducing a new £800 fine, which will double for each repeat offence. The science is clear. Such irresponsible behaviour poses a significant threat to public health. We will not stand by while a small number of individuals put others at risk.
This doesn't mean we can suddenly throw caution to the winds. We all know that close contact, such as hugging, is a direct way of transmitting this disease. So I urge you to think about the vulnerability. If you're meeting indoors, remember to open a window and let in the fresh air. Whatever you decide, I must ask you to continue to follow social distancing when not with friends and family. We only have to look at the very sad situation in other countries to see the lethal potential still of this virus, and we must continue to fight the spread of variants here in the UK.
So in May, Hancock was caught having an affair with one of his advisors. In fact, an advisor that he'd personally appointed, and was being paid with taxpayer money. And as such, he was in clear violation of the social distancing rules. At the time, the official government advice was to avoid direct contact and face-to-face contact with people you do not live with, and stay at least 2 meters away from anyone who visits your home for work reasons. Clearly then, he broke the rules, with him subsequently admitting, "I accept that I broke the social distancing guidance in these circumstances. I have let people down and I am very sorry." This is what's really interesting. While we obviously feel for his family, the actual affair isn't really any of our business. What is that the Health Secretary was breaking the rules he was setting. Rules so strict that funeral capacities were limited and people weren't allowed to touch loved ones, even in times of need. This scandal might remind you of the Barnard Castle incident, where much of the public and the media turned on advisor Dominic Cummings for travelling during the lockdown restriction. Hancock's incident was arguably much worse. His infraction wasn't travelling, but, well, doing that, after telling the public that we have to be cautious and restrained. The question then is what happens next? Johnson, in private at least, clearly had fairly low opinions of Hancock, so can he really be expected to stay after these revelations? Well, some are hoping that he will get the cut. Annalisa Dodds, chair of the Labour Party, said that if Matt Hancock had been secretly having an affair with an advisor in his office, who he personally appointed to a taxpayer-funded role, it's a blatant abuse of power and a clear conflict of interest. The charge sheet against Matt Hancock includes wasting taxpayers' money, leaving care homes exposed, and now being accused of breaking his own COVID rules. His position is hopelessly untenable. Boris Johnson should sack him. Some Conservative MPs agree, with one talking to Telegraph, insisting that Hancock should leave, saying that Boris cannot afford to expend any more political capital on Matt Hancock. We already know that he thinks he's hopeless, before going on to say that the Conservatives can't afford a rerun of Cummings. I'm bracing myself for the avalanche of emails I'm going to get from constituents asking why is the man still there? Pressure might be even higher, as last year Hancock was left speechless by Professor Ferguson, who travelled to see his partner, saying at the time that the professor took the right decision to resign. "I think social distancing rules are very important and people should follow them." So, even by his own standards, it looks like Hancock ought to go. Although, since we started recording this video, the Prime Minister's official spokesperson has said that Johnson accepted the Health Secretary's apology and considers the matter closed. Will Johnson fire Hancock over this scandal, or will it just slide? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified every time we release a new video. Special thanks to our Patreon backers who make videos like this one possible. And if you want to see your name at the end of videos, then you too can back us on Patreon. The link to that is in the description.